Hello.
Good morning, Marquette. Welcome
Good morning, Marquette.
Yes, welcome to Everywhere If You Look. I am one of the co-hosts, Megan Sheehan. I work for Mission and Ministry, and this is my co-host,
Steve Blaha. I'm in campus ministry. Good morning, Marquette.
And we are so happy to welcome Allie Dahl, who is a senior, correct?
I'm actually a junior.
Oh, you're a junior. Sorry, Allie. You're a junior in the Opus College of Engineering, right?
Yes.
Got that one right. Okay, and we're so excited to welcome you to Everywhere If You Look. And
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. What is Everywhere If You Look about, Steve?
Well, thanks for asking, Megan, and welcome, everyone. So Everywhere If You Look is a weekly video podcast or show, our morning show, that highlights essentially how is God active in the lives of members of the Marquette community, students, faculty, and staff, with the sense of that Ignatian spirituality insight that God is active, attentive in each of our lives, moving throughout every experience. If we pay attention, we can find where God is active in our hearts and minds, and so cooperate with God in building a bigger, better world.
Absolutely. And today, Everywhere If You Look, it's March 14th. Oh my
We'll
God.
say the 15th on this side
I
of
need
the...
more sleep. I needed more sleep last night. The 15th, but it is Lent. And yesterday was Later Sunday, which is exciting. It's kind of like a little break in Lent to celebrate joyfully and remember the hope in the resurrection. That was yesterday. And coming up this week, we have St. Patrick's Day on Wednesday. And it is also the Feast of St. Joseph. So,
San Jose.
Stepdad, yep. And so one cool thing about that is that this year, this liturgical year, was declared the year of St. Joseph by Pope Francis back in November. And now we're still in it. So
we know that for the Irish, every day is St. Patrick's Day. But it's great that St. Joseph gets a little bit of space and time, oftentimes forgotten, set to the side. Let's get some good St. Joseph time.
Yeah, maybe. Yes. And he gets a lot of celebration with Italians, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, with everybody, especially in the year of St. Joseph. So
I don't think we could celebrate him. I think we need to celebrate him more.
Yes, absolutely. So welcome to Everywhere If You Look. And yeah, we're excited to start talking with Allie. She's on a tight schedule today. She has class, so
and midterms.
And midterms.
That's true.
All right, Marquette, midterm week, high season.
Yes. So Allie, can you give us 3 fun facts about yourself?
Yeah. So, well, last semester I actually did a co-op, and over the summer, and I worked at a company that manufactures breast implants, and it's actually the only US-based manufacturing company that does that. So that was kind of cool. I was an engineer there. That was
and
fun.
That's local, isn't it, Allie?
Yeah, it's right in Franklin.
Cool.
Yeah. So that was an interesting experience. Back when I was living at home, one of my favorite hobbies was dirt biking. We live kind of out in the country, so that was just something I did a lot, and it was super fun. And another fun fact is I found out that my grandmother, who I was actually named after, I have her middle name, she was actually baptized in Jesu Church. So I thought that was really cool, and her parents were married there. So my great-grandparents were married in Jesu, and she was baptized there.
Wow.
That's cool that I go there now.
Yeah. But where are you from? Where you do the dirt biking?
Port Washington, Wisconsin.
Oh, Port Washington.
Yeah, 30 minutes north of here.
Okay.
Not too far. Yeah.
That's sort of like the international dirt biking capital, right? Now,
Maybe.
Allie, when you say dirt biking, is that with motor or without motor? Or is that is that Allie motor or electric or engineering motor?
Like a regular motor, like you would have on a motorcycle, I guess.
Cool. So do you have special gear that you wear, like a helmet and everything?
I wear a helmet, But it was just, I never did it like professionally, I guess. It was just more something for fun that we did in the backyard. So, yeah.
Did you build like ramps and stuff?
I did. One of my neighbors had ramps when we were younger, so we did used to go jumping on some dirt ramps. That was fun, but I don't think I could do that anymore. When I was younger, I was okay.
So no like handstands off the handlebars or anything.
No. I wish. That'd be cool, but I don't think I could do that. I'm not that gymnastically inclined.
Well, thanks for sharing those. Those are fun facts. I imagine that your internship was at a breast implant facility, or what is it called?
So it was a manufacturing plant.
Manufacturing plant.
And I was helping the process engineers. So we looked at problems that were occurring in our process and just tried to improve our yields of our product.
Okay, great. What an experience. What a good experience, especially for you who are in engineering. Do you know what kind of path you want to take with that?
Well, I'm in biomedical engineering and like specializing in biomechanics. And I think originally when I was deciding this, I thought it would be cool to go in prosthetics, but I think that's what everybody thinks who does that major. So I'm not exactly sure what I want to do. And now I'm thinking maybe like, since I'm also in a lot of mechanical classes, I could kind of go into the more mechanical path too, which is something I might do in the future. I'm not exactly sure what I want to do. I've been contemplating that a lot lately.
Very cool.
Allie, that's cool. And, part of this show is highlighting the spiritual paths and sort of the journeys of our hearts, in walking our lives. And so your discernment on your major, so many Marquette students discerning, what is this going to look like walking down the street? After graduation, what's going to bring me the greatest happiness? And a lot of this show's about a lot of seeds, of that. Where are the seeds planted that God is putting in our lives and helping grow? And so that's cool. Glad you're discerning.
Yeah, definitely a lot to think about.
Yeah. Allie, what would you? Oh, sorry, Megan.
You go ahead, Steve.
Sorry, Megan. I was just going to ask Allie. So, Allie, tell us a little bit about your faith. Like, how would you describe your faith?
I definitely think that if I had one word to describe it, it would be growing and changing, just because I think it's something that definitely changes with like every season of life. I grew up in a Catholic family where we went to church every Sunday and like pray before meals and everything. And I always went to a Catholic grade school, but I didn't go to Catholic high school. So I think that like just being surrounded by it all of my childhood really helped. Like I never had to think about it. It was just something that was kind of always there. And then once I got into high school and college, I kind of had to try harder to find my own way. So I think that was definitely like more of a test for me of if I could like keep staying involved, even though I wasn't really forced to anymore. So it was just, I think now it's more of a matter of like figuring out ways to stay involved in my faith and trying to grow in it. And I think my faith is something that's definitely like changing, and like the times when I feel closest to God are like kind of maybe going like a wavy pattern depending on like what's going on. And I think it also depends a lot on how busy I am too. So yeah, my faith is something that's growing and changing, and hopefully growing for the better.
Absolutely.
That's great, Allie. Are there things that you do like currently that help you stay grounded or anchor you during the wavy periods, which is normal?
I think for me, I found that the more I am involved and like force myself to sign up for something, the more apt I am to do something because I have to. So it's not like just like if I'm praying and I kind of get sidetracked and whatnot. It's more like I have to do it. So I think a big part of that has helped me is being involved in Camino. So that's just something that happens every week, a small faith group where we can all talk about our faith, and we do a lot of Ignatian spirituality practices. And this year I actually am running one of the Camino groups with another girl. So it's really fun, and it's been like a good way to stay involved and always thinking about my faith, just because like there's days where me and my partner are planning the meetings, and then I'm thinking about it and like actually going to the meetings. And I feel like it's just something where I'm always thinking about it as long as I'm signed up and in something. So I think for me, just like signing up and forcing myself to be a part of something really helps me stay connected when I'm busy.
That's great. That's awesome. Related to Camino, now, am I hearing that there's a donation drive going on?
There is a donation drive going on. Yes, we're doing a donation drive for the Marquette Backpack Program, and that is going through the end of this week. So we're taking food donations and monetary donations. And food donations can be dropped off at the AMU help desk, the campus ministry office, or in the library. And I believe there's also a box in Carpenter.
Oh, yes. Yeah. That's awesome, Allie.
Yes. Yeah, and it's been going pretty well so far, but we definitely would like to see more donations. We've had to take stuff over to the backpack program a couple times already. And the backpack program is something that helps other students who are having trouble being able to pay for groceries. So it's just a confidential program where students can go to get groceries if they're in need of assistance.
Which is an awesome thing to contribute to and needed. So I think that's great. Thank you for your efforts in bringing that drive to campus. I think it's difficult right now to kind of figure out how can we serve others. I know that campus ministry has been challenged by that because so many of our programs have so much contact and are so relational. And so, having this drive, I think, feels very refreshing on campus. Oh, we can do something. There are always things that we can do. And Allie, one other thing I wanted to mention that I think I relate to, and I think a lot of others do too, is that it helps to sign up for things in order to be intentional about probably everything, but in particular, you're talking about your faith life with Camino. And I think we can all relate to that. It's kind of like if I join a gym, all that the money that I pay monthly is going to encourage me, hopefully, to go to the gym. Best case scenario, right?
Yes.
And signing up for things, it just kind of marks that intentionality that we are making room in our lives for a particular activity. And I just wanted to say that right now during COVID, as annoying as it kind of is, we have signups for everything. And so in some ways, because of the contact tracing and capacity limitations, but in some ways, I've thought to myself, as I'm putting the signups out there, this is an opportunity in some ways for students to commit to these signups and kind of intentionally say, well, I'm going to go because I signed up. Things often or can come up, of course, and we may not get to whatever it is, adoration, confession, mass, Caminos, Ignite, Soup with Substance, but having that kind of moment of, signups are happening right now, retreats. I do think that's one kind of maybe gem in the midst of COVID for what we're doing. So I just wanted to mention that because I think a lot of people can relate to that.
Meg, I couldn't agree more. Just when we set something aside in our schedule, it marks it off as sacred, as a priority, because life gets so busy. The weeks get so busy, and it can be real easy to miss some special moments. I was thinking about like birthdays. We make sure to put family and friends' birthdays on our calendars, which sometimes can, sort of get steamrolled by a busy week. But if we have it there, we can celebrate in whatever way is possible. Or, I think of my wife and I, if we don't have our date night on the calendar, it doesn't happen. And so get it on the calendar. And same with our relationship with God. Like, get something on the calendar. Feed our time, our friendship with God.
Right. Because I think often there's the temptation to say, oh, I'll figure it out later, or I'll see where it fits in. And then, yeah, like you're saying, Steve, more often than not, it's probably not going to happen, or at least may not happen the way that it may have if we had put aside intentional time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that even with faith life, it's nice to have a routine for things that you do on the daily. Otherwise, it kind of just gets pushed aside in the busyness as well.
Yeah, it takes a lot of work to maintain a relationship with God, and as it does with anyone, it takes a lot of work to build off of where you are and where you're going. So thanks for bringing that up, Allie. I just thought of that now as we always post, here are the signups for the week. Just thinking about it in a different way maybe than before. It's not just, it can be more than just, signing up. It can be more a moment of commitment and maybe even prayer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Allie, is there, when you think of just sort of your faith life, is there someone that or someone that is in the world who inspires you? Someone that you would say, oh, this is a spiritual mentor, or this is someone that encourages me. So a person, and is there a mantra or a phrase or a passage or a quote that you're like, this is my mic drop?
Yeah, so actually, if I'm thinking of a person who has always been kind of a spiritual mentor for me, it would definitely be my best friend from high school. I think that in high school, when I was struggling, transferring from the Catholic environment to a public school where we weren't forced to talk about God and things, friend, she was always very reliant on her faith, and just anytime we were talking about things or just asking her for advice, she always kind of brought it back to that realm of thinking about it in terms of faith. And I think that really helped me in high school stay connected and being able to find somebody who was very connected to her faith. And she also she went to a different church than I did, and she always brought me along to her weekly youth group meetings, and I even went on a retreat with her in her church. And it was always really nice being connected with her. And I think that's how we became really close in high school. And then even the summer after freshman year of college, when we were all back home for the summer, me and her actually started a Bible group for other people who were home from college for the summer, just so we could do something, sign up for something to stay connected during the summer. Because for me, I think I was struggling with not having anything planned during the summer, and I felt like I was kind of slipping away again. So that was really nice for me. I think she's somebody who's always kept me grounded.
How cool.
What a gift.
Yeah, so it's nice having somebody like that.
Absolutely.
And summer can be a tricky time, any break time, Christmas break, summer break. It's especially with college schedules, because you have your life, and then suddenly it's this large expanse of time where the rhythm is different, the schedule is different, and it's awkward because it's enough of a time span that it's not just sort of a vacation period, but it's okay, I have to develop a new rhythm in some way. And it just, talk about being discombobulated. I'm easily discombobulated, so I'm just sort of feeling for that. So
yeah, thank you for sharing that. And it makes me think of how God really does work through relationships and people in our lives. Sometimes it might feel why does this person keep popping up in my life, or or why do I keep popping up in theirs, And I think that we often think about friendships and relationships in terms of how is this serving me? Or maybe, how am I serving this person, which is, not a bad thing, not bad things to think about. But how often do we say, how is God working in this situation? And how is God bringing us closer to himself through these relationships?
Yes, I definitely think that God has definitely put me on a path to meet certain people at certain times. And I really am grateful for that.
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful, Allie. I'm going to put you back on the hot seat. Favorite quote?
Oh, yes. Sorry, you asked that before. I kind of
I
glazed
threw
over that.
20 questions at you. Here, do something.
So this is my cheesy, like, I like science joke, but it's also like something that I like. I think it's all right. I'll just think like a proton, always positive. That's I always say
Love
that as
it.
a joke, but I actually really like it because I try to think about things in a positive light. I think that otherwise I'd be really sad if I didn't. So I think that's just like good life advice. Like if you think about things positively, like it's all in your attitude, even if bad things are happening to you. If you think about them positively, like it's going to be okay. And a lot of that is like trusting in God. But I think that can also just kind of be related to anything. And then, it's a little reminder about the science part of it. So that's
Bringing everything together, Allie. That's awesome. And especially good advice for midterm week. Marquette, be like a proton. And now we're helping some students maybe studying for midterms, like the proton, the charge. I'm certainly like, oh, protons are positive as the O major. So
yeah, for all those who are taking that science for the non-science major class that I took, that might be helpful. Thank you for sharing that, Allie. That's pretty cool.
Cool. Allie, if you were to picture a spot on campus that's like a favorite go-to spot for you, a place that really like you go and like, boom, it's a pretty quick connection to God. What's that space?
Yeah, for me, that's definitely outside the Joan of Arc Chapel. That's like back when I had in-person classes so long ago. I'd always stop there in between classes and just kind of sit for a little bit. Like that was like my little in-between prayer time. That was always my favorite mass to go to, was at St. Joan of Arc Chapel on Tuesday nights. Like now that I was here over the summer, I liked to take walks there and sit there and read when I got back from work in the afternoons. I don't know. I just like to sit there. I like listening to the little waterfall fountain that they have. It's just really peaceful. That's, I think, where I go to sit and think. And I definitely experience God outside a lot more. So just having like a spiritual like garden, I guess, outside is really nice. I like to sit there and read or do homework, and sometimes just sit and meditate or just be with my thoughts. That's always my go-to spot.
That's awesome. It's a place of invitation.
Yes,
it is.
And it's just, it's like the whole campus is like central around the Joan of Arc Chapel.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is the heart of campus, and I love that, because that's really, faith is the foundational, movement, one of the foundational movements. Obviously, like, the search for knowledge is so critical, but as you pointed out, there's total harmony between the search for faith and search for knowledge, because it all leads us to God. So science and faith, protons and positivity, it's all connected, to the one who makes protons.
That's right. It's all an invitation. All an invitation to these encounters with God. Yeah. It looks like you have 4 minutes until class, Allie.
I do. Yeah.
Allie, we've loved this time.
Yeah.
Any advice that you'd give to friends, other members of the Marquette community as we embark on midterms, or just in general, like, this is what's helped me?
Yeah, I think I had anything, it would just be like, I know we're all crazy busy, and I struggle with that a lot too, like finding time for prayer and finding time to practice faith life when I'm this busy and it's like not something that I have scheduled like in my daily life. So I think that some things that help me are just like if I'm walking somewhere, just thinking about God or just like looking up at the sky and being like, this is beautiful, and just kind of finding God in little everyday things. And even if you're doing something, maybe just you're listening to Christian music in the background and it just kind of reminds you of that. If you're having a busy day and you're cooking dinner and you're listening to something that kind of reminds you of God. And I guess you can also, I think I also try to see God in everyday things like my relationships and friendships and people around me. Like when I'm looking walking through campus and I see like somebody helping other people or people like hanging out and playing outside, I think those things all just make me think of God and like how wonderful it is that everybody's getting along. And I think just looking for God in little things and little moments and people has really helped me stay connected even if I'm busy.
That is awesome, Allie.
That is.
And that's what we're all about here, seeing the interwoven fabric of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
God in all things. That's great. Well, Allie, thank you for this morning. Thanks for being with us. What a joy, to have this time with you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's been awesome talking to you guys.
This is great. Yeah. And God, go kick some butt on those midterms.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, good luck to everybody with midterms week.
Yes. All right.
Thanks, Allie. Take care.
Bye. It was nice talking to you.
Thanks, Allie. You too.
All right, Steve.
I got to tell you, I'm feeling for every single one of our students and faculty members this week as we are in the midst of midterms. It's a tough time period. It's an important time period, and just prayers and hopefulness and proton positivity going out to everybody.
Yeah, I really like that. Think like a proton, be positive. That's what it was, right?
Yep.
Yes. Cool.
I'm going to add that to my Dory advice. Just keep swimming.
Great. Just pile them up.
Megan, I do want to point out it was really nice to have Spider-Man, the spider dog, there this morning. That was really cute.
Parker.
So, folks, if you were just listening and not necessarily viewing, you might have heard some dog sounds. That was not a trick of audio connection. The internet wasn't messing with you. Yeah, it was real special effects. It was the cutest dog in the universe.
Yeah, Peter Parker, he's left us now. I think he's hungry. But yes, I was going to show him because I thought he might help us collect views, but he had enough. I'm not above doing that.
Yeah, yep. I mean, if I had to vote looking at Blaha or looking at, the dog, I'd be like, hey, Peter Parker, come on out.
Well, I have up here on this screen what's coming up this week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And you can see all of the things that we have this week, pretty much just our regular programming, which is great. And in the comments, I put a link to sign up or register for whatever's coming up. There are also the Milwaukee retreat is currently something that students can register for. So, keep a lookout for that sign up as well.
Regularly awesome.
Yes. Yep. And then this is Steve's new addition.
Drum roll.
We are going to put out there some questions for reflection. So, how is your Lent going? How is your fasting, prayer, and almsgiving? How is your relationship with God? How is your friendship with Jesus this week? So, thanks to Allie for reminding us about the many encounters that we can have with God in our everyday lives. These questions go right along with that. So, questions for you, Marquette, to consider and reflect upon this week, maybe bring to your prayer or just kind of put in your pocket for different times throughout your day. Oftentimes, if you set an intention or a reflection question in the beginning of the day, at least for me, I'm surprised how it can pop up elsewhere in my day. So questions for reflection.
That's really good, Megan. And as you mentioned, like yesterday we celebrated Laetare Sunday. It's sort of like Camel Week for Lent. It's Hump Week. We're getting over the hump of Lent, and so a great opportunity to just jump into new.
Absolutely. All right, Steve, I think we're good to end in prayer.
That sounds wonderful. So let's just pause for a second here and give thanks to God. Loving God, you are the light of the world. And as our clocks change to bring about more light in our day, help us to be focused on the light that you bring into our lives, through other people, through our studies, through our world. We thank you for your many gifts. Help us during this Lent to draw towards the light and to let that light break all darkness. And we make this prayer in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much, Steve. And Marquette, we hope you have a good week. Have a good St. Patrick's Day and have a great Feast of St. Joseph Day. Both happen to be on Wednesday. And check out some of the programming for this week.
Live the dream, Marquette. Live the dream.